Hello, guys. Welcome to the space where we heal, hear God, and shine anyway. So yeah, continuing from my previous video where I was telling you about how I ended up in America when it was not my plan. So I ended where I was telling you that I had gotten a visa interview date, and you would think that the way that things were working, you would think that the drama was over. You would think that everything is now worked out, like, I'm just going on to another section. It's always a bit nerve-wracking to go for visa interview. So before that, I was in Bulawayo and I was supposed to travel to Harare for my visa interview, because my visa interview was on a Tuesday and I had to travel on a Monday. So just before I left home, I just something said to me, just check to see that your visa interview is there on the system and all, because I had booked it and I had that confirmation of saying that I had booked the interview date. So I just checked it because you can actually check your visa interview date on the system, and then I checked it and I couldn't find it. I'm like, what? So it was I just didn't understand. I checked, I put the confirmation number and everything again. I checked and I couldn't find it. I was so stressed. At some point I was like, what does this mean? And I was still in Bulawayo by this time, and I was getting ready to go board my bus to Harare. So now I was just like, oh. And my mom was sitting next to me, and she actually saw me opening, and she was kind of stressed. So I realized that if I kind of tell her what was happening, she was gonna be more stressed, and I didn't want that. So I was just like, oh no, it's fine, to be fixed and all. But I was so stressed in that moment. I got on the bus. I was not okay. Even my mom could see that I was not okay. Even her, she was a little bit stressed, but no one was really talking about the issue because I was just like trying to cover it up. So I got onto the bus. It's a 6-hour journey from Bulawayo to Harare, those who know. And the whole time in the bus, I just remember that sermon that our pastor had preached, send Judah first. So in that moment, I was just like, send Judah first. I just remember to send Judah first. And I just put on my AirPods and I was just listening to worship and praise music. Like the bus will be stopping and stuff. I don't even remember where it stopped in way. I was just putting on my earphones the whole 6 hours until I heard the bus driver saying, welcome to Harare. Like I was just worshiping, I was just praising, I was just saying, God, you are good. I just decided to send Judah first. That's where I realized that praise can do so much, because I just couldn't pray. I was just like, my only way out of here is to praise. So I was just worshiping and praising the whole 6 hours. So I got to Harare, and then my brother's wife came to get me, and I was telling her the story. At the first point, she was stressed, but then she was like, no auntie, don't worry, everything will be fine, everything will be sorted out. If they don't allow us in, let's just take it as a learning curve. If you're not allowed in the interview tomorrow, you can still book another date and you go again. It's okay, it happens, these things happen. But I was kind of stressed because I was supposed to start school in January, and I wanted to know the outcome in that moment so that I'll start preparing. Remember, I'm working on no money zone. I don't have money, I don't have plane ticket money, I don't have accommodation money, and it's just, so I needed some time. And like I was working on my human mind as well. So that night I was still stressed, and that night I called my pastor. I was like, I told him, I explained to him the story, and then I spoke to the pastor's wife, and then she's like, okay, I'll pray with you at midnight. Let's wake up and pray at midnight. We'll pray for 1 hour and just pray and ask God for his mercy, and just ask him to show us the way, to give us direction and clarity about the issue. Because in my spirit, I could heavily feel that something not good was happening. Like I was feeling so heavy, I was feeling so nervous, I was feeling so scared. Even after I prayed for peace, I was just feeling feeling uneasy, you know what I mean. So we woke up that midnight, we prayed. Thanks to my pastor's wife, she helped me. She woke up and she prayed with me. And you know what happened? Like 20 minutes into the prayer, the network just went off. Guys, the devil was really fighting. The network just went off. And then the call cut and we couldn't connect anymore. And then because she's in South Africa, so at that time we could only use WhatsApp call, so it couldn't connect anymore. And then I tried to get hold of her, I couldn't. And then she just sends me a message and she's like, Rutendo, continue praying, do not stop. My network is just, I'll be praying on my side, but also continue praying until the 1 hour is done. I continued to pray as per the instructions. I continued to pray. I prayed until 1 a.m. and then I slept. When I woke up in the morning, I woke up and I was just feeling like I wanted to release. So I went to the bathroom and I released. When that happened, I just felt a sense of easiness. I just felt like this peace, you know, like that peace that you feel in a storm. That's the kind of peace I felt. Like I felt like a heavy burden had been removed from my shoulders. I just felt at ease. Like I felt easy, and it was just so wow. I prepared for my interview that morning. Then we drove to the embassy, and I was feeling at ease. I was not, those nerves that like I was not feeling them anymore like they were the previous day. I was just feeling so okay. Everything was well. And that morning we're just worshiping, we're just praising. I was with my brother's wife. She's the one who took me to the interview, and was just praising and all. And remember, we still had our issue of saying we couldn't find my interview on the system. So when we got there, I was just scared to say when they took our passports, and when, you know, they take your passports first. At that time, that's what they used to do. They would take your passport first, and then I think they will go and check in the system to just confirm that you have an interview on that day. And then if you have an interview, then they will come back and call you to go inside. So when they took my passport, I was like, this is the moment of truth where we are going to find out what really happened to my interview in the system. But I had that paper, I just carried it with me, so in case there was a challenge, I'll just also show them that I booked the interview. Apparently there were no problems. I was just called in. I went inside. We went inside the embassy, and then you know, just before we went in, there were people that were sitting with outside. You know, like people will be trying to confuse you, and people will be saying a whole lot of stuff, and they will be, you know, they will just be trying to up your nerves and stuff. But I told myself, because I'd also watched a whole lot of YouTube videos where people will be talking about their visa interviews experiences, and I had it in me that I don't want to listen to any negativity before I go inside the embassy, or people who instill fear in you, because there are people who do that when you are sitting waiting for your visa interview. You need to be careful who you are speaking to at that time, and you need to be careful who you are listening to, because people will be telling you different things that you went there, you were okay, and then they plant fear in you, and then when you go inside, fear is already with you, and then you just get all confused, and then even the visa officer doesn't understand what you are saying. They end up denying your visa. If only you had gone there with a clear mind, you'll be at a more better place to answer the questions and to respond to what you are being asked. So sometimes to the visa officer you might seem like somebody who doesn't know their story, but no, because fear is now in your mind. You're now starting to change a whole lot of things that you're not even supposed to be doing. So you need to be yourself, and when you go there, you need to make sure that you stay positive, and any negativity that comes to you, reject it, like refuse it. Anyone who says anything that plants fear in you, refuse it at that moment. So we ended up going inside the embassy, and we did all the processes. So what you do when we went to pay, when I was now paying, apparently one of my money, the notes was, I think it was written by a pen or something like that. and then the cashier refused the money, and that was the only money I had. And now I was thinking, do I go out back outside? How do I come back in? And it was a whole lot of. So now I was asking the people in the queue, and this other nice lady, she's like, oh, well, what's wrong? I was like, they say they can't take this money of mine, so I need to go and get a proper clean money and bring it. And she was so nice. She took out, I think it was a $10 note. She took out a clean $10 note, and she took that one. And wow, guys, God was just, that's when I just saw that God was just leading every step of my way. And then now when it was time for the interview, like I think the people that were ahead of me, who had come in for student visas, they were being rejected. And then I think it was just the people who were going for visitors visa, they were the ones that were being given. So when when you see somebody being rejected in front of you, the nerves start kicking in to say, oh my word, oh no, the nerves start kicking in. So in that moment, something started to say to me, start praying in the spirit. I just started praying in my heart. I started praying in the spirit. And then I was next. When I got to the visa officer, to the window, he was so nice. Like, I also felt at ease. Like, I was just like, I'm gonna be myself today. And it's like, hello, how are you, Rutendo? And then he's like, and then he's like to me, I don't remember exactly what he most of the things that he said, but then he's just like to me, oh, so you're going to American University? I was like, yes. He's like, oh, okay, that's nice, that's a nice university. And then he started typing, started checking in the system. And then he's like, how old are you? I'm like, like I wasn't expecting that question. So I forgot my age in that moment. I started trying to calculate. Guys, like you have set questions that you're expecting to be asked. You're expecting to be asked, why are you going to the university? Why are you going to study this? And then it's like, how old are you today? I'm like, then I tell him my age. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he starts typing, and then he starts looking at my I-20. He's like, oh wow, this is a good scholarship. Wow, that's such a good scholarship. And then he starts looking at my certificates. He's like, wow, these are good grades. Because on my transcript, from my university transcript, there were kind of a whole lot of distinctions and upper second class. And it's like, oh, okay, why does everyone get a distinction on attachment, like industrial attachment and all? And as I was trying to answer, he moved on to another question. So basically, I would say the only question he asked me is how old I was. The whole time it was like a conversation. I was like, wow. And then he's like, okay. And then he goes on, he starts to type. So in that moment, he kept on typing for a very long time. He kept on typing. Now, I don't know if I've gotten the visa or what. I'm just now waiting. And then he finishes typing, and then he takes out the blue paper. And then I was like, oh, this is it. And then he starts writing. And then he's like, enjoy your time at American University. You can come and collect your passport on Friday. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. Guys, I was so, I walked out of there because I couldn't believe what had just happened. I walked out of there, like I rushed out of the visa, out of the embassy, because it's like, what if they call me back and say, oh, we forgot another question? Like, so I had to rush out of there. I kept on saying, God, what did you just do in there? Like, I kept on asking, it's like, God, what did you just do in there? What did you just do? I couldn't believe it. Like, when I got to the car, my brother's wife was so disorganized. She was all over the place. I think the nerves were playing around with her as well. So now when I got to her, she was just, because she had put on a band, like, like that band where you put on your head. That's what she had put on. She had taken it off, and she was just all over the place. She couldn't be settled at that time. When somebody is in the embassy for their visa interview, you are not settled. You're just like, ah. So when I then told her that I got the visa, and then we called my mom. Oh, my mom was so happy, like, because she was in Bulawayo. She was so happy because her nerves were playing with her. Like, girl was nervous. She couldn't do anything at home, like. But then when we told her, she was so happy, and oh God, it was it was so nice. And then, guys, another thing happened now. I remember I had seen on the window of at the embassy, they said when you come to collect your passport with your visa, you need to bring your ID, because that's the only ID that and I had gone to SA, I think a few months before, and I'd forgotten my ID and my license. So now, because my husband was there, I was now asking him to send them to me. And then he says, we try to find DHL. We go to DHL. We try to find DHL. They tell us those ridiculous amounts that we could not even pay for a simple ID. So I didn't have an ID, because the ID that I was using was my passport. And now my passport, I left it in the embassy. And for me to collect my passport, I needed my ID. Guys, it was a whole lot of drama. And now my mom was even angry with me. It's like, why are you so careless with your things? And it was a whole. And then my brother was like, auntie, let's not worry about this. Let's go and apply for another ID, because this one is as good as lost, because you will not even find it anyway. Let's go and apply for another ID. So quickly we went to the Home Affairs office to try and apply for another ID. And then we get there, they tell us that they only take about 50 people a day. I think 150 people per day. That's the number that they serve per day. So we're supposed to come in the morning. Because at that time it was like in the afternoon. It's like you have to really come early in the morning, because you only take the first 150 people. And if you know Home Affairs in Zimbabwe, the queues are very long. For you to actually get into the queue, you need to be there like at 2 a.m. or so, at 3 a.m. and they open like at 7 or so. So you have to spend that whole time. And my brother was like, auntie, we're just gonna come here 2 a.m. and queue. So we came back, we went home, we did all we did. We came back at 2 a.m. Guys, already it was you know the drama that is there. If you know Home Affairs in Zimbabwe, the drama that is there. There was so much drama. People, there will be people that sleep there. They will be saying the whole lines for other people. And when you are there, when you arrive at 2 a.m., you are on number 5. And then when now it's 7 a.m., the queue, they are opening the Home Affairs, you are now at number 50, because there were people that sell sports and stuff. Guys, it's a whole lot of drama. But anyway, thank God I was able to go in, and we went inside, and I was able to get I spent the whole day there. And from 2 a.m., I think we left the Home Affairs office around 2 p.m. We spent the whole day there. It was a process. But I thank God, because I got my ID, and I now had my new ID. So, and it was time to collect. We went back to collect my visa. We had no problems on the Friday that we went back to collect my visa. So it was actually like, you know, the whole story coming from the preparation and everything, you could see that it was God-led, and the detours were also like a testament that it was God-led, because the devil does not fight things that are not from God, you know. So it was just also a time where God wanted to teach me also to trust him and to lean on him, and to know that when he has said that you will do something, you will do it. So now, guys, I have the visa. Where is the plane ticket money? Where is the accommodation money? It was a story for another day for that time. So it was a story for another day for that time, because we were basing on faith, because I had a very huge scholarship, a partial scholarship, and my loan was also supplementing, but all those things could only be given to me when I get to the US. You get the sense? When I get to the US, that's when those things will be dispersed to me. And I needed like airplane ticket, accommodation for the first month at least. So I will continue this on another party to share how we ended up getting here, because God is good all the time. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, and like.